Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channels. Today's my topics is string handling. So today I'm going to discuss a very important questions about a string. So first my question is, what is immutables? How to make object and class is a immutables? So first I'm going to discuss what is the mutables. So in this topic, a string is a immutable class, a immutable object. So we can say how. Okay. So I'm going to discuss about, and it is one of the most important questions in interview room. It's a very interesting, believe me. Okay, so many interview I am going to discuss about in this immutables object. So interviewer just asked to you, please tell me how to make our class as a immutable, like string classes. How can I make our classes? So you have to do, and you have to give the reply, and you have to say, first, if you want to make our class is a immutables, then you have to make the class as a final class so that the class is not extensible. Next, you have to make our class is like all the properties are the private. Don't create any setter and getter methods to access the property. And fourth one is, you have to make the class all methods are public, so we can accessible and you can perform so many operations. But once you create the object, you can't change this object. If you want to change this object, then you have to make one more object. So that is the concept of the immutable. So I'm going to discuss about this slide. And what is the string? String is probably the most common use of the class. Okay, in Java library, a string class is a encapsulated under java.lang package. It means that a string classes is available in java.lang package. In Java, every string that you create, you actually object of type is string. Okay, no doubt in that. But one important things to notice about a string object is, a string objects are immutables. So how can you say that string objects are the immutables? It's a very simple reason. In next slide I am going to confirm you, I am going to tell you why string object are the immutables. That means the string object is created, cannot be altered. You can't create, alter, you can't change it. Okay, next slide we can learn immutable. What is the meaning of immutables? I am going to confirm here. So many students having a doubt, what is the immutable strings? How can you say that this is the immutables? Everyone like same, but you are saying this is the immutables. So you can confirm here. Immutable string in Java, a strings object. Okay, I'm going to discuss about it. What is a string immutable? How we can say? String objects are the immutables. Okay, it's a confirm. I know, you know, everyone know. Immutable simply means unmodifiables. This is one of the most word, unmodifiables. You can't modify this object data like strings. Next, unchangeable. It is one of the another word is unchangeable, unmodifiables. It means that you can't change the data once you create it. Okay, so what I have to do? Once a string object is created, its data or states cannot be changed, but new strings is created. If you try to change, you cannot change, but you can just modifiables. Okay, no problems. Okay, next I'm going to tell you how we can say what is the immutable object. For examples, I have a one variable called a. Okay, a variables having a bear able. Okay, a having a bear ables, and it is stored in heap area. Okay, you have a next variable called b, and we can assign the a value in b reference. Okay, no problem, you can assign. So it is automatically stored in this b. It is not going to create any extra variables and extra any object. but string unbearables and a equal to unbearables and just store this data in B. So this does not happen in Java because strings are immutables. So ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. Okay, if a string were not immutables, another reference to the, you can say, but I will also tell you like that it will happen. Okay, next, creating a string object. How we can create and how many way we can create the string object, and it is one of the important questions in a interview room. Java provides two ways to create the you have a only two way to create a string object. How many way? So next is, first is using the string literals. You can put a string s equal to double quote whatever you can put, that is called a string literals. Okay, next we can say through the using new keywords, a string s equal to new strings, and inside the constructor, inside the double quote, inside the strings we can say hello, hi. That is called one kinds of the string object that they created. Next, what is the string literals? And any acronymous object, I think you know the object that is called a string class, that is called a string literals, are defined by the enclosing the text in the double quotes. Whatever you can put inside the double quotes and just close it, that is called a string literals. Okay, can be passed to the methods and constructor as a parameter. Yes, we can pass directly, we can pass the data inside this. Okay, have a method we can call. Okay, we can call and you can pass directly this data, this object, no doubt in that. Assign a literals to a string variables, like that we can assign and we can create the literal object in a string name equal to Sachin. Calling a method on a literal string int length equal to Sachin dot length, we can call like that also. Directly we have a object Sachin and just we can call the having a length method dot length. So it will give you a data. For example, it will give you 1 2 3 4 5 6, so length is 6. Okay, using the new keyword, how can you do it? Using the new operator, create a memory location in this heap. Okay, for example, a string is equal to name equal to new strings of Sachin, so it will created one object like that and we can assign the data inside the name. So directly it is holding by the name, and this is one of the objects Sachin, and it is created in the heap memory. Okay, next is name equal to Sachin, it is created. Okay, next is what is the difference? A string literals, actually I have a very less time, so I have to discuss very fastly to elaborate this. Okay, now what is the difference between a string literals and a string object? A string literals are stored in the string constant pool. Okay, it's a good, but strings object are not stored in a string constant pool. It is stored in the heap memory. It is another area. When the compiler encounters a string literals, it is checks the pool to see if an identical strings already exist. It is not going to create any other. Okay, for example, it means that if you have a string literals already exist inside the string pool, so if you create next object similar to that, then it is not created, it is just assign this address to next variables. Okay, existing object. Next is if a match is found, then reference to the new literals is detected. The existing strings and no new string literals object is created. The existing string simply has an additional reference. Okay, I hope you understood. What is the difference between them? So for example, str4 reference will be pointed to the existing object with the value Java 5 within the string constant pool. So for example, you have this is the string constant pool, and this is the individual object, this is the individual object. So if you create the string like that, a string str equal to new string Java 5, so it is going to stored here Java 5 str1 and it is pointing here. But if you are creating like a string literals, then it is going to stored in a string constant pool, for example like that. And if you create again like that through this, then again it is going to stored inside other side. a string you are creating, the string again you are creating, then it is going to only pointing this reference to this string constant pool. So new object is not created. I hope you understood. This is the string constant pool and this is the heap area. All these are the heap area. This is a green color is the heap area. Next, thank you so much for watching my video, and more update I'm going to elaborate more than that about the strings, and it is the very popular interview questions in this channel. So please don't forget to subscribe my channels. Thank you so much.